laughing at Kendrick Perkins like you is the wrong person to be talking about anybody should retire. He like this coming from somebody that ain't do nothing they last 3 to 4 years. And he like, now if KG and Paul Pierce want to talk about this, cool. That's some leverage that could be said something about. But you, KP is not liable.
The rings ain't enough.
Yeah, I mean, but he got carried with those though too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he played a huge part.
He had a big part for them.
Yeah,
though.
he played a big part for sure. But they were just saying like, nobody forced you to retire your last 3-4 years when you averaged 2-3 points.
Right.
So
like, that's a good point though. It's like, why are you telling somebody else to?
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Because of injury? Because of injury, it's not the same?
Yeah, it's not the same because of that. It's specifically that. Like,
right.
No one questions Kawhi's ability, but like we just talked about last week, it's just that we always got to say when he's there.
Right.
When he's there, we know what he is. But when he's there, though, like, you got to be there to be that. If you can't be there, you need to bounce, move around.
I seen he was an All-Star last year too. I didn't even.
Cool. He got voted in. Yeah. Did he play though?
I
don't think he played in.
Yeah, I don't think he did. But it's just like LD said. Like when he's there, I looked at his games played. I looked at his games started and all that, and me personally, I thought it was a lot less. He is playing over 50 games. So technically he's playing a lot actually. That's a lot. To always 50. Be injured or resting, but
yeah.
When outside looking in, it looks like he always not playing. Because he resting 2 games back to back, or then play maybe 5, and then resting some more games. But he's definitely playing 50 plus games. So
it sounds good.
I believe he need to retire too.
No, I'm saying like it sounds good, right? But here's the thing, right? When you're not playing over 70 games in the regular season. And then not only you're not playing over 70 games in the regular season, let's forget 70. At this day and age, you can't even give me 60 games, right? 60 games I think would be enough. You could sit out 22 games, whatever. You can figure that out throughout the games of the season. You can skip because you only play certain teams in the East like once or twice. So depending on who you play in the East twice, that's why I said once or twice. You can skip a Detroit here and there. You can skip a Charlotte.
So the games that don't matter.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then you can skip a couple of the, Western Conference games because you play certain teams 4 times. You play either 3 or 4 times. So you figure that out. So you can miss a good 20 to 22 games. I can see that and still play 60 and then also still play all the games in the playoffs, though. See, that's what I be talking about. Like, not only can you not give me nothing in a full season, then you're not giving me a full season. You get to the playoffs. You can only give me a couple games in the playoffs. I keep losing. They keep losing every year in the playoffs because he can't finish through the playoffs.
Right.
Like I know, and I'm probably just saying a couple games. I'm pretty sure there was. I think when they made it to the where they had made it to the Western Conference Finals when they played against what was it? Not Portland.
Wait, a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was. They played against Golden State or something like that in the Western Conference Finals.
The Clippers.
Yeah, that was the one when Golden State.
They won that year.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Golden State that they played. It was one year though where they made it far.
2021 against the Suns.
That they made it to the Western Conference Finals, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the one. Yeah, but then the Suns went and lost to the Bucks. Mm-hmm. But like you there. But Paul George had to basically play in that Western Conference Finals by himself because you got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like the injuries is a part of basketball. I ain't saying that's not, but it's like you get injured so much. Like every year, you can pretty much guarantee you're going to be injured when it comes playoff time. You can pretty much guarantee that. The last 4 years, I don't think he's been able to play in the playoffs. I think the 1 year where they lost to Luka and them, the first time when they played Luka and them in the first round, where Luka sent them home in like 7. Or maybe it was even 6 maybe. But besides that year, and that was a first round exit. So it's not like you had to go far into the playoffs. That was a first round exit. So you probably didn't play a lot of games in the season. Then you got me bounced out the first round. And it was only by one person. Just retire.
Yeah, no, like you said, within the last handful of years. So last year, 2 playoff games. The year before that, 2 playoff games. The year before that, 11 playoff games. The year before that, 13.
But But that was bubble, I think.
Yeah, they
13 was bubble.
Because that was the 1920 year. Yeah,
Yep.
and they just got knocked out. He was playing that series,
But the bubble, we know they got an extended period. If it wasn't for that 3-month break in between, he probably hurt in the playoffs. He don't play them 13 games.
All right, so that's all 4 years with the
Clippers
so far. Yeah.
You gave me 2 games.
And then really, if we want to go even further back, you got the championship before that in Toronto. But those last few years in San Antonio didn't finish so hot in the playoffs.
Nope, because he kept getting injured.
Yeah, because, we know the Zaza Pachulia one.
Yeah, the Zaza is the one I excuse.
Yeah, coming off of the championship in 14, and then that next year, Zaza did that. But then coming off that, he couldn't really rebound those next couple years, and then the Spurs got bumped, I think, in 16, 17. But
so when you just think about that, the last 4 years, last 2 years, I'm Steve Ballmer as an owner. I'm pretty much, I done gave away Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, he loves Kawhi, though. That dude, that Ballmer dude.
But listen to me. I gave away Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah. He didn't
know. We watching?
He didn't know. He just some rich dude with money. He didn't know. He don't know talent.
I get that. But I gave away.
Yeah.
Shai Gilgeous, I gave him away. And others to get Paul George.
And more.
That's what I said. And others to get Paul George here. And that man is an MVP candidate. Yeah. You or Paul George yourselves aren't MVP candidates because of your injuries. Yeah. I gave away an MVP candidate, man. That's what I would be thinking about.
I would just argue with somebody on Facebook about, like, when you think about the money that could be spread it out or thrown to somebody else, because like I said, like, he's paying to sit down now at this point. Like,
oh
yeah, a lot.
Like he's like a lot. Like even when I was watching with Draymond Green and Baron Davis, and they was basically saying like people think that he's finessing the game and that he's really not injured and all this, that, blah blah blah. I mean, like you say, if you do the math. When you do the math, like LD said, all the money that you giving this man, and he's only playing two games in the playoffs. Like, what are we like? Why I got you on my team for? And you supposed to be the best player on my team, not the number 2, not the number 3.
That's a good point. Yeah,
you're the number 1 player on my team. You're better than Paul George. I mean, some people argue that, but
the reason they didn't re-sign Paul George. Part of the reason.
Because they gave you the bag.
So, so technically you might number 1 option and you're not even helping us win because
and you're not even there.
Or injured. And I'll be wondering, like, sometimes we don't know the back end stories of who's really making these calls. Is this Kawhi really said, I can't go? Is this the owner saying rest? Is this the trainers that's saying he can't go? Who is really making these calls? Because, I mean, Toronto is probably the only team that I think he played for that actually played. Well, he only was there 1 year, but, you know, he played pretty much the whole season. But, like, the Spurs, Pop was saying, no, we know Pop was making that call. But after Toronto.
No, he started making that call. That's where the problem came.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, who's making this call? Like,
in San Antonio.
If I can hoop, I'm going to go hoop.
You saying Pop or Kawhi?
Kawhi was making that call in San Antonio. So, you know, Pop do the thing where he sit his players or whatever. Yeah, that happened. He been the one who started that. But what happened was Kawhi started being like, I can't play. And then what it was Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili spoke out about it. Like, same thing D3 saying. Like, Tony Parker, I even believe, said, like, I played when my knee was gone. The little injury he got, he can play. He just decided not to or whatever, blah, blah. So, you know, it is what it is. We all love Kawhi. Like, I love me some Kawhi. Sure. I love I love to watch him play. But he ain't out there. You can't watch him play. And because of that, you leaving the Clippers
high and dry.
James Harden is going to get you as far as he can get you. And that's it. He's not getting you a championship. That's just inevitable.
Yeah,
so.
And one more thing on the injury front in the NBA. I don't know if y'all saw, but Lonzo Ball got hurt his wrist.
Again? He got hurt again? Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's not his knee, but of course you don't want to be hurt at all. I didn't see how long he was going to be out or anything like that. But I was like, God damn, what's the week 2?
Yeah, you know, a lot of them injuries, they was blaming them shoes, though.
Okay.
Get better.
Yeah, you know,
trying to force some weak ass.
Yeah. I mean, that's why Melo ball like, I'm gonna go with Puma.
Yeah.
I ain't Dad, I love you, but I ain't messing with those. Like,
Well, he only did that because Lonzo told him to, though.